Hey guys, so we are going over meiosis and sexual reproduction this week. We've gone over mitosis in the past, so the process of meiosis should be, somewhat similar, but meiosis is the focus of sex cells reproducing or duplicating or multiplying, whatever word you want to use. Yes, we're going to be talking about sex. Okay, giggle, giggle. Let's move on. Okay, so some of these I already told you when we went over mitosis that you needed to definitely know the difference between. So we're adding in some more vocab that you have to differentiate. Okay, so we've seen homologous before, but now we're going to make it a little bit more detailed with heredity, gametes, somatic cells, locus, clone, haploid, diploid, and recombination. So for sex, obviously you have to have the egg and the sperm. Okay, the sperm fertilizes the egg, and that's how you create a baby. Okay, so a zygote. The sperm and the egg, since they are sex cells, they are called gametes. Okay, so your sex cells are called gametes. We'll go over in this unit, obviously, more in-depth details with chromosomes and then what DNA is and how this relates to our genes and our genetics. Okay, so here's a review of mitosis. Okay, so you're going to produce cells with the same information. So diploid to diploid, when we say diploid, it's 2N. Okay. They're going to be identical daughter cells. So basically the parent cell just replicates itself into two. Okay. It has the same job and same shape. Sorry if you hear Oreo barking. It's starts and ends with interphase, okay, and they are exact copies, almost like clones. They have the same amount of DNA, the same number of chromosomes, and the exact same genetic information. So this is what mitosis looks like. Bear, what do you have on your neck? Okay, sorry guys, they came in from outside and they were playing pretty ham. Okay, so on that side, I thought I saw a stain. Okay, so asexual reproduction, that's where you have single-celled eukaryotes, like fungus and protists, so paramecium and amoeba. They don't really have sex. They basically just like bud off of each other type of thing. It's literally called budding. So as you can see, this top picture, we have amoebas that kind of just literally split in half. Budding means you kind of have a new section kind of growing off of you, and then it just ends up eventually growing to the full size organism and then falling off. So imagine if us as humans could bud, okay? It would be really, really weird. Like you have a new you, like exact copy of you, just kind of budding and growing off of your arm. That'd be kind of weird and freaky, so I'm really glad that that doesn't happen. Also, imagine having like a baby you just like budding off of your arm. That's no, no, thank you. Okay, so here are some more pictures of potentially how the asexual reproduction could go. It's not necessarily that like there's no fertilization happening, so it's not like a flower where you could fertilize the same plant, because you'll have a female flower and then a male flower. It's not like that process, okay? It's literally, I'm just growing off of here. And then once it's fully formed, it'll break off and be its own. So for the rest of us, okay, we reproduce sexually, okay? So it's the joining of egg and sperm. Sorry you hear Oreo drinking water in the background. Okay, Oreo, cool. So we do not make egg and sperm by mitosis, because if we did, then you'd have 46 chromosomes in the egg, 46 chromosomes in the sperm. You put those two together, and that would mean that us, like the babies, the zygotes, would have 92 chromosomes. We do not. Okay, so our sex cells are not produced through mitosis. Our sex cells are produced through meiosis. Now, if you look here, you have 23 chromosomes, okay? Or 23 pairs of chromosomes. So 46 chromosomes in total. So here is 1 through 23. The 23rd are your sex chromosomes. If you are a female, you just have 2 X's right here. Okay? But if you are a male, you will have an X and then a Y. Your karyotype, okay, so karyotype is your chromosomes kind of laid out for you, would look like this. Now just look at how tiny the Y chromosome is, okay? So haha, guys, you suck. Girls, we're still awesome. Okay, so there's that. Now, just a review, we went over homologous chromosomes and like homologous chromatin and all that kind of stuff. So homologous chromosomes are paired chromosomes. Both of them carry matching genes. So they control the exact same inherited characteristics that you get. So think of homo, which is the same, and logos, which is information. So the same information. Okay, when we say diploid, that means 2N, so 4 in total. So here are all of the chromosomes kind of separated. Okay, so now we're going to have one here and one here, and then those are the single-stranded homologous chromosomes. But then they're going to become double-stranded homologous chromosomes. So this is where we will get the pairings that will eventually split. So how do we make sperm and egg? So sperm and egg are called gametes. In order to make our gametes, we have to reduce our 46 chromosomes to 23 because each baby is going to get half from mom, half from dad. So we have to reduce the number of chromosomes by half. So in order to do that, we have to go through a process of division. That process is going to be called meiosis, okay? And once we go through that, then we're going to get fertilization for our sperm and our egg to get a zygote. So meiosis is the production of gametes, okay? So meiosis is a little bit more complicated than mitosis because there's multiple steps or phases. There's a meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. I'll get into that. But basically, you have to make sure for each phase that the chromosome number must be reduced. So we have to go from diploid, which is twice as many, to haploid, okay? So for humans, we go from 46 to 23. We reduce the chromosome number. In order to reduce the chromosome number, then we get to make gametes. But since each gamete is only 23 chromosomes, once you fertilize, so you get 23 from the sperm, 23 from the egg, now we can get the original chromosome number of 46. So we go back from haploid to diploid. So the first part of meiosis is to go diploid to haploid. The second part is going to be haploid to diploid. So here's an overview that's super not complicated at all of meiosis. Okay, so like I said, there's 2 different phases. So we have meiosis 1. We call it meiosis 1 because all of the phases of meiosis 1 have a 1 behind it. Then you kind of draw a line here in the middle and split it in half, and that's when we get into meiosis 2. So that's why all of the phases have a 2 behind it, okay? Now it looks complicated, but it'll be okay. Okay, I'll break it all down with you. So when we went over mitosis, we had a way to remember it called PMAT. Well, with meiosis, it's like IPMAT PMAT. Okay, so it's double. Because if you're thinking about it in terms of mitosis, the phases of meiosis kind of, they have the same name, but they kind of are like three different stages of mitosis happening all at the same time. So I know it sounds confusing, but it'll be okay. So take a second, pause the video, read this question. So all of the following statements are true about meiosis in mammals, except okay, so you should have gotten E. Okay, they are not four genetically identical gametes because we're splitting and then we are splitting the number in half. So since we're splitting the number in half, it is not the same genetics as the original parent. Okay, it's not genetically identical. It has half of the original parent cell. So this is going to be meiosis 1. Before I fully go into it, I'm going to go ahead and pause, and then you guys can continue on with part 2 just so it doesn't get cut off.